chat, what's good? My name is Jamo, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make this displacement map fire effect in After Effects. You guys can apply this same concept to other editing programs, but I'm just going to be using After Effects with the built-in displacement mapping effects. Let's just hop right in here. So I've got this clip here of Jace, and first thing, as always, man, in most of my videos I start off by rotor brushing out my subject, but I'm not going to go into detail of how to do that here today. But I did increase the feather, decrease the shift edge, and then check these two little boxes right in here. That's pretty essential. And if it looks low quality right now, it's because I'm rendering in quarter quality instead of full quality. And then what I'm going to go ahead and do is drag on a fire asset from Action VFX. This is not sponsored. You guys can just use a free fire overlay from YouTube. That's what I'd recommend. But I'm going to be using some really high quality ones from Action VFX. So I'll just drag in this one. It's called Ground Fire. And I'll just go through and find a piece of this fire that I like here. I want to go ahead and stretch this, so I'll stretch this vertically on the y-axis and then just scale this up and then put this in a good spot right behind Jace right here. And you guys can 3D track this with the 3D tracker tab, but I'm not going to be doing that since it's a pretty quick effect. And then what I'll go ahead and do is also just duplicate my fire asset, and I want to put another one over here. And to add some variation, I'll just go ahead and reverse that layer. So I'll right click on the layer, go to time and click time reverse layer, and then I'll pre-compose those two fire layers by highlighting them both and doing Control Shift C, and then make sure to move all attributes into the new composition and click this box right here. Then you'll click OK, and then now we can go ahead and rename that layer and name it fire. And then I went ahead and renamed the background to background. And then on the background layer, I'll add on the built-in displacement map effect. And you guys can use other effects like Sapphire Distort, but I actually have been really liking the default displacement map lately. And for displacement layer in the input, I'll just set that to fire, the one that I just renamed, and then you can go ahead and make the fire invisible now. And then on that background layer, make sure to change the displacement map behavior to stretch map to fit. And then I like to bring the horizontal displacement down to 0, and then you can bring the max vertical displacement up. So now we're going to start seeing that fire actually displace to the background. And then go ahead and click wrap pixels around to get rid of these little black spaces down there. And so now that's going to give you something that looks like this, and that looks pretty cool. So now I'm going to go ahead and make this fire layer visible now, but I'm going to bring the opacity way down to something like 20%, maybe 30%, and then I'll add on the tritone effect, which is also built into After Effects. And then right here for midtones, click on this little box right here, and then you guys can select any color. And I think that a light blue looks really good in this scene. And then of course, if it's not bright enough for you, you can increase the opacity. I think something around like 36% will look pretty good. And I think that that blue glowing look looks really cool with the displacement map on there. And then as well, you guys can tone down the displacement map a little bit if you think it's a little bit too harsh. But I think somewhere between 100 and 300 will look pretty decent. Of course, you can, go all out with it if you guys want these kind of more interesting looks. But I'm really going for something very subtle here. Now I have some Ember overlays that I went ahead and dragged in here also from Action VFX. But again, just download some free ones from YouTube, always works. And then of course, I'll just copy the tritone that I just made, and I'll go ahead and paste it to those two Ember layers, and you're going to get something that looks like this. But I'm definitely not done yet. So what I want to do next is maybe add on a bit of a glow on the fire layer. I've been liking Sapphire Glow lately, but definitely probably use Deep Glow, like nothing too crazy, something like that. So now I want to add on a new adjustment layer above everything. So down here, I'll right click, go to new and click adjustment layer, and then above everything I want to add on Uni Heatwave, which is a Red Giant Universe plugin. So this is not free or sponsored, but this is just something that I'm going to do to really increase the heat waves on here. So if I blast it up all the way, it's going to look like this. That's the kind of effect that it gives. And then I'm going to turn the heat intensity to something like 20, and then bring down the blur amount to 15 because it's a little bit too strong for me. And that's really just going to give a very slight subtle heat wave effect. And then on top of this as well, I want to add on lumetri color to turn up the contrast a bit and then turn down the temperature to make everything slightly blue. Maybe boost up the whites a little bit, bring down the shadows, bring down the blacks. And then this is what it looks like without that adjustment layer, and then this is what it looks like with the adjustment layer. So it definitely changes the entire vibe of the scene, as you can see. And then as well, you can also duplicate the fire embers to help them stand out a little bit. And if you guys enjoy this type of content, check out my website, jamovfx.com. I spent around 2 years cultivating really good editing packs and presets that are going to help you save time while also maintaining high quality results for your clients to better your video business. I do have a special promo going on right now, and it might not be lasting for super long, so definitely make sure to go check that out. And if you guys want to get 15% off, use code STINKYCHEESE. I appreciate you guys as always for tuning in, man. Peace.